for the moment that you've all been waiting for. From just north of the border, he's the hombre with no nombre. Mi hermano from another mambo. He's the Leonardo da Vinci of lockups. El numero uno.
That's right. You're listening to One of the Three Hogsmen. Where's Devin? Not here.
No.
Big Duke said maybe next week. But it's a Tuesday. It's May 25th. That means when you're listening to this, it's Wednesday, May 26th.
The normal day that you would listen to this show.
Yes. And it's a beautiful day out. This is why we live in San Diego, Adam. This is why your mom, back when you were a young child, said, we're leaving New York and we're moving to sunny San Diego. It's a beautiful day out today.
Yes.
Very nice.
As it is most days here.
Yes. Yes, my friend. And I had a long weekend.
Looked like a fun one, though.
It was a good time. I was out in Las Vegas for for Canada Pro Wrestling. We were wrestling at Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino for the G4 event.
Bud Tenders Awards, something like that.
Yeah. But it was a good time, man. It felt a lot longer than just 2 days. I'll tell you that. That's how Vegas works, though.
Yeah.
You feel like whenever like you go on vacation, like in general, you come back feeling like you need a vacation.
Yeah.
At least that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
Especially when you go to Vegas. It's like, man, I don't know. For some reason, it just feels like a lot longer. Like I literally felt like I was there for a week.
It's because that is legitimately the city that never sleeps.
Yep.
Like maybe when you went like last year, it was a little different, but like normally when you go to Vegas, there's always something to do.
Yep.
Every minute, every hour of the day, no matter what time it is.
Yep. But it was a good time, man. Flew out very early Saturday morning and full flight Southwest, so things are right back to normal.
Yeah, Southwest is one of the ones that stopped doing that.
Yeah. And so anyways, but it's like an hour flight, so you're just like, whatever, dude. And landed in Vegas, I think somewhere around like 8 o'clock. It was fairly simple to get a Uber over to the Mandalay Bay. Actually, the whole week, I from the second I got to the Mandalay Bay, I didn't leave it until I left to go to the airport. I was able to just kind of stay in the Mandalay Bay the whole time, so that was nice.
That's the good part about Vegas too. Most hotels have a casino in there. You really don't have to go walking if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Especially if you go like during the summer when it's like 110 degrees outside, like you just want to stay inside wherever you're at the whole time if you can.
Yeah. But anyways, went over there and checked in, and that's the thing, like with checking into a hotel, you got to wait usually till like later in the day. It's not actually the best time to go because I got there around like 8:30. And I had my own room because I'm grown up real person. And the lady's like, "Yeah, we'll text you when your room's ready." I'm like, all right, well, because I got like a room with 2 queen size beds. I don't know why. It just because it was the option. I'm like, if you just have like a single, I don't know, king size or whatever, single bed available right now, I'll take that. And she was like, oh, let me see real fast. And she checked and she's like, yeah, one of our handicap rooms is available right now. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'm here for a night. Give me whatever the fuck you have,
Yeah.
And so anyways, I was able to get my room early, which was nice. And then I headed over to the convention center and met up with everybody. It was, process getting in. We all had to get our little badges and whatnot to show that we belong there. But it was cool, man. As soon as everybody started showing up, I saw a lot of faces I haven't seen in a while. Because nobody's been traveling or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, man, it was cool. First day, Saturday, I had a match against Calder McCall, and that went well. We had a 10-minute match, and so we're kind of off to the side of this convention, right? We're kind of a little bit off we're off the beaten path. And I think we were like the 3rd or 4th matchup, and I was looking out the curtain and I was like, oh, cool. There's like a few people out there watching at least, there's some seats around the ring and there's people watching. So I'm like, cool, man. At least we're not wrestling for nobody. As soon as my music hits, I say, all right, Calder, I'll see you out there. Walk out the curtain, and there is nobody around the ring. I'm talking nobody. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell's going on? Like, I started like kind of just like, what the fuck is this? So you get in the ring, and you're just like, all right, I guess we're just kind of wrestling for the camera crew that's around us. And then Calder comes out. And by the way, Calder's in fantastic shape right now. I was like, when he took his shirt off in the ring, I was like, God damn, dog. Like, I even on the lockup, I'm like, yo, you're jacked. But anyway, so yeah, we had our match. It was cool, man. Real simple. Real quick. 10 minutes isn't a long time when you're in there, and get out of the, we finished it up. I did the favor for Calder. Love Calder. You know why? You know what the finish was?
Something simple.
Flying crossbody off the top. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll let you get the 3 count on that. So I did the favor for Calder, and we go in the back, and we're like, oh, that was cool, man. Too bad there was like nobody out there. And a little bit later, we were talking Calder, and I talked to Calder basically like all day on Saturday. Like, I was catching up with him, and later in the day, Rico Dynamite, also known as Reeks, comes up and goes, hey, good job, guys. By the way, so they had catering there, like free food. He goes, yeah, the catering got brought out right as your guys' match started. So we're not as over as the free food.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, did that make you feel a little bit better at least? Like you knew you would have had some crowd?
No, I thought it was hilarious.
I thought you were going to tell me the crowd walked away because they heard your name, and it usually follows with "and Devin Sparks."
Yeah.
So they were just like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep,
We don't need to see him.
Yep. But anyways, yeah. So Calder and I were not as over as the free food, and but I thought that was hilarious when Rico told that. I started laughing. But man, it was cool. It was good. It was good catching with Calder. Gangrel was out there. Good seeing him. What a fucking workhorse! What a workhorse, man. So I was watching the matches. As soon as my match was done, I was like, cool, man. I brought some beers in my bag, like ready. Like, hey, I'm done for the day. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all, folks.
You didn't have 2 matches on Saturday?
No, I had one.
Okay.
I had one on Saturday, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. That's it.
Okay.
So, and I was like, hell. My match was at 1:00. As soon as I'm done, I'm cracking this beer, and it's vacation time.
You got the whole day to yourself.
Got the whole day. But yeah, it was good catching up with Gangrel, and he wrestled Hunter Freeman on. He was kind of like the I don't know if it wasn't the main event, but it was like the main event of the first show.
Yeah.
And man, Gangrel he's 52 years old, still bumping like a motherfucker. Working his ass off. So Gangrel and Hunter go to the outside, and Hunter gives Gangrel a clothesline, and Gangrel doesn't bump it. And then I see Hunter back up again and give Gangrel another clothesline on the outside. He bumps it on the solid floor, and I popped for that. I was like, holy fuck. Like, Gangrel is the man.
Yeah. Like,
I wouldn't be bumping.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be doing stuff like that.
No, but he does, man. He's a tough motherfucker. So they wrap up the match, and it was a good match, man. It was a really good match. And Hunter was excited, obviously. I was really jealous of Hunter because he got to take the Impaler. And I wrestled Gangrel once, but they had me booked to win, so I didn't get to take the Impaler. I would love to take the Impaler just to say that I've taken the Impaler, and it's a real, obviously it's not a hard move to take at all. But yeah, man, good job to Hunter and Gangrel. They put on a hell of a match. It was a lot of fun to watch, and yeah, man, we just got to hang out and talk to people. And then the second show started going on, and of course you're watching the matches and all that stuff. And then the main event for that was Gangrel versus Damien 666. Cool match, man. 2 old school cats. Just putting on a show.
Were Ray and Dominic there? I saw some picture they posted. Okay,
yes,
I
will get to that.
Okay.
I'll get to that. So, yeah, Damien 666 and Gangrel, man, they went out there and they did the damn thing. Just an old school match. They had it was cool, man. It was fun watching these guys. And sure as shit, Gangrel takes another bump on the outside on the floor. And I'm just like, God damn, he's a maniac.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was really fun watching, like being able to watch like those two guys like work, considering like back in the day they were in opposite companies.
Yeah.
And it was cool. So it was good. And then after the show wrapped up, what did I do? I think I went and grabbed some food or something. I went and cleaned up in the room real quick, and then went and met up with everybody. So there was like an after party, but it was like off site.
Yeah.
And but there was like a shuttle you could take, I guess. And I was like, I don't really feel like jumping on a shuttle and, going to wherever this after party thing is.
Yeah.
So I met up with Hunter and Benny, and then Hunter was like, Dom's gonna come hang out tonight. I was like, what the fuck is Dom doing out here? And I guess Ray and his wife bought a place out there, so they have a place in Vegas.
Okay.
And so Dom came and hung out that night. So we went, a bunch of us went down to the lobby, like just a little lobby bar. So we're all just hanging out down there. It was, Benny, Hunter, Dom, Ray showed up, James Brady, he's a newer guy. Him and his wife were hanging out, Savannah Stone. Bestia came and hung out. Damien came and hung out. All of us just kind of hanging out, just having fun, man. It was real nice, real lax out at in the casino area. Like, ain't no mask.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. Yeah. Like, you don't have to worry about wearing a mask and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we just hung out there all night, basically. Kind of just jumped from like bar to bar in the casino area.
Yeah.
And then I called my wife, and she was like, "Hey, can you just put down 100 on black on the roulette table?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Walked up, put down $100 on black. There's like a few people, like a group of people. They were all like, they were all friends, and they saw that I was wearing a Padres hat. And they're like, "You're from San Diego?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "So are we." Yada, yada, yada. They're introducing themselves and all that kind of stuff. And they introduced the dealer. And then the dealer's like, "Yeah, he's not going to like me." And just pulls my 100. And I didn't see it, but they already rolled I don't know, what do you call the roulette wheel?
I don't know. I guess we call it the roulette wheel.
Yeah. He'd already done it, and it landed on red. So within a second, I lost $100. And I texted my wife, we lost $100. Oh, well. Money come, money go.
Yeah. Well, she's the one that told you to put it down, so she can't get mad.
Yeah, so there was my gambling experience. Just $100 gone, nothing to show for it. And so we were everybody just hanging out, I didn't get too banged up. I didn't feel like being hungover drunk.
Yeah.
On Sunday and then having to wrestle, but it was fun, man. We hung out. I called it a night around 12. I looked at Hunter and I said, "I'm out of here. See you later." And of course, Hunter was like, "No, man, hang out a little bit longer." And I was like, "Fuck off." But here's the good thing. So we grabbed a little bit of food, like late night food, and I picked up the tab without them knowing prior to me leaving. So then that way I don't feel so guilty.
Yeah.
Saying "fuck off," I'm going to my room. And then of course when they all found out, they were like, "Oh, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it." And it's like, yes. See, now I don't feel like a dick for bailing on you guys, because
it's a baller move.
It's what I do, man. It's what I do, And it was so nice having my own room.
I bet.
So nice having, because all these cats, they're all younger cats, and they're all like, 4 to 5 people in one room. They all drove out there 4 to 5 in one car. I'm grown up real people. And
that's the carny wrestler in them.
Yeah.
Where they're like, let's all save a bunch of money by jamming ourselves in one room for a night.
And I flew, and I had my own room, and at a certain point you have to be like, no, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah, because how much money are you really saving by like?
That's probably true, right?
Like, but you're spreading a room between 5 people. I guess you'd save a little bit of money there because rooms are expensive. But like with the flight and stuff, you should be able to get a flight just as cheap, especially now with gas prices what they are.
I know.
Like, you're probably paying less to fly than you are to drive.
Yeah, you're 100% correct on that. You're 100% correct on that. I mean, God, just filling up my truck would probably be just as much as a flight one way.
Yeah, you're looking at least over $100 easy, depending on the size of the fuel tank in the truck that you drive. Like,
yeah, no way. But anyways, yeah, so I got to get a good night's sleep. Woke up around 7 o'clock and, a little sore from the match, little just minor stuff, a little stiff. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go out into the jacuzzi and just kind of loosen up. So I went and grabbed some food. I saw Slice in the food court area, Slice Boogie. He looked like he had a long night, and but went and grabbed some food, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go to the. I didn't have to be. My match was at 1 o'clock, so I didn't have to be there for a while. And I was like, I'll go to the jacuzzi and just kind of loosen up a little bit, get the day started. So the pool area in the Mandalay Bay opened up at 9 o'clock. And I got down there around 8:50. There was a line to get into the pool, very short line. So I was like, okay, I'll hang out, no problem. And I walk into the pool area. I go over to the jacuzzi area, and it's on. The jacuzzi is on, but there's extensions around it. So I walk over to the lifeguard, and I go, hey, is the jacuzzi open? And she's like, no, it's closed. All right, listen. Let's go over this list. Somebody made this decision. Somebody sat there and said, we got to close the jacuzzi. Okay? So somebody, corporate, big time, probably has a degree. I'm guessing a degree, right? A business or something.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, listen, the state's allowing us to, the mask mandates are gone, right? It's up to your own choice. Okay, cool. So let's see what we can do. All right, so we can open the casino, right? And somebody said, yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. So the tables we can open up with no masks, no plexiglass, no separation. That's cool, right? And the person said, yeah, that's fine. That sounds great. We'll get the business back going, get some money, some income coming through. All right. The food court. Can we open the food court? And just you can sit wherever you want. All that. The person said, yeah, that's great. That's no problem. All right, excellent. Conventions. We have a convention center. Can we have conventions? Yeah, sure. By the way, there was a high school volleyball tournament going on, guys and girls. So there was the place was packed.
Yeah.
The Mandalay Bay was packed. And I remember when we first got there, I met up with Shaw and Jackson Calhoun. And we were looking for the room to go into the weed convention, and we happened to stumble upon the volleyball convention, and it was packed inside that room. Packed, man. So somebody said, yeah, conventions are great, man. Okay, yeah, these are going to be indoors, and there's not, the masking is going to be optional. And the person was like, yeah, that's fine, man. We'll be fine. All right, cool. All right, let's see, what else is there? There's the lobby bars. The lobby bars, can we have those open? There's going to be seats right next to each other at the bar. The bar is going to be open. People can sit at the seat at the bar. And this decision maker was like, yeah, that's fine. Sounds good. Get it open. Let's go. All right, cool. How about the pool area? We got a lazy river. Can we open up the lazy river? Yeah, that's fine. Cool. You understand, the lazy river, you basically have no control. People are going to be next to each other, packed next to each other. You don't really have control over where you're going to be at. It's a lazy river. All right, cool. Yeah, that sounds great. Open that up. Wave pool? Yeah, go ahead and open that up. All right. Normal pools? Yeah, go ahead and open that up. All right, jacuzzi sound good? Whoa. Pump the brakes. You're going to get somebody fucking killed here. We cannot open the fucking jacuzzis. Are you nuts? You want to open the jacuzzi? You crazy bastards. You're going to kill us all. What the fuck?
Maybe it was because it was early?
No.
Was it not open later when you tried?
I didn't go back
later.
Go
back? Okay.
But seriously, why would you say the pool area open at 9 o'clock? Everything's open, but the jacuzzi that don't open till 2.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't do that.
It's really weird.
But it's so fucking weird, man. Somebody sat there and made an educated decision to not open the jacuzzi, but open up everything else. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It just I don't know. For some reason that irked me. Is that a word?
I can understand that because you're looking forward to, loosening up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, you can go in the wave pool if you want.
Yeah, actually, so I did go in the wave pool just to be like, all right, well, I'm already down here. Might as well go do something. Thought I'd catch a few waves. By the way, you ain't catching no waves in that wave pool. Every 3 minutes, it shits out a little slow rolling wave.
Probably because they don't want people getting too close to each other.
Yeah, that's true. But I would have body surfed the shit out of those things if I could, but I couldn't. Anyway, so I hung out for the in the wave pool for just a few minutes and just kind of swam around, and I was like, all right, well, this is lame.
Yeah.
And went back inside, and eventually I made my way back over to the convention center to start getting ready for my second show, the Sunday show. And had a match with Remy Marcel, and Remy's awesome, man. I like Remy a lot. Good dude. And remember what I told you about the other week about, wrestling injured?
Mm-hmm.
I wrestled injured a few weeks ago, and the person I was wrestling with kind of didn't understand when I told them prior to the match, I'm injured.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm injured. That should stick out and should be remembered. So Remy's like, hey, man, my shoulder's kind of jacked up. I think it was like his right shoulder or something like that. He's like, yeah, I don't know what happened. It's just kind of a little sore. And I was like, all right, cool. Guess what? He took 2 bumps, I think, the whole match. Because I was like, well, fuck it. I'll take all the bumps. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to hurt anybody,
Yeah.
So I was like, here, you okay taking this, a suplex? Yeah, cool. You okay taking a spine buster? Cool. All right, excellent. That's it. That's all I need. So yeah, but we had a good match, man. It was a lot of fun. Never wrestled Rem before, and that was my first time, and I had a good time. We actually had some people at this show, so that was cool.
Catering was already out by this point.
Yeah, Katie, exactly. And actually, they had me. They had me booked to win, but I was like, nah. I like Remy a lot. He's always been very nice to me, and I was like, Remy, you want to win today? And he goes, I mean, I will if you want to. And I go, I'll take care of it. You're winning. And he goes, all right. Are you gonna talk to them if they have a problem with it? I'm like, dude, ain't nobody have a problem with it. Like, this is a convention show. Like,
Yeah.
you got to remember this when you're wrestling at a convention show or anything where there's just not a hardcore wrestling crowd. You got to remember, those people are not there for you. You just happen to be there.
Yeah.
So why go 100 miles an hour? Why do all this crazy indie shit? That's why people are there. They're not there to see that. They're there for the weed.
Yeah.
They're for the weed booths, not wrestling. So why are you trying to like kill yourself? And anyways, I was like, yeah, I got it, man. So I by the way, Remy's just as cool. I go, what do you want to win with? And he goes, how about a roll up? What about a backslide? I'm like, fuck yeah. Hell yeah! I'll do the job to a backslide. So, anyways, Remy won with a backslide. It was a fun match. Afterwards, I was like, yeah, I had him win. I didn't, it felt like having him win. And actually, it was probably the better decision. Like, he had a better, like, he's a Vegas guy.
Yeah.
And so there was like a few people there that watching, and they must have known who he was, and he got a better reaction winning than I would have gotten winning. So it was cool, man. It was fun. And that was it. I was done for the whole trip, and I just kind of hung out and watched the rest of the matches and all that kind of stuff. And a little bit slower day at the convention, obviously on Sunday. I think every Sunday, convention, that's like the slowest day.
Yeah, probably.
And I think the show was basically done by like 5:00. And yeah, man, it was a good time. And then I just kind of killed time afterwards. I went and grabbed some food. And just my flight wasn't until like 9:55, so I had a lot of time to kill. I had already seen the Padres. They already won
Mm-hmm.
Killed the Mariners.
Yeah.
And by the way, Tatis, COVID gave him something like some superpowers because he's come back better than ever.
Yep.
And he was already really good prior to it. But yeah, so I went and hung out, and then Jackson Calhoun happened to be on my flight. So him and I took an Uber over to the airport and just hung out. And then the flight was like, we were like late to board. Oh man, like getting home was a nightmare, dude. Nightmare. So we landed probably around like 11 o'clock, later than 11 o'clock. And I look on the Uber app. Dude, it was $75 to get to my house. Now, people, I live like 15 minutes away from the airport in San Diego. It's a very easy drive.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn. And then plus you couldn't connect to a driver. Like I don't know what's going on with the ride sharing thing right now, but there's like nobody like Ubering or driving. I don't know what the hell, what do you call it?
Again, probably gas prices.
Maybe, yeah.
People don't want to drive because
that's actually a very good. Yeah, that might be it. So I'd take a taxi because there was just like taxis that are like, hey, we're over here, and you're just like trying to do anything you can to avoid taxis because they're just so ancient, and that's why they're dying as a business. But I was like, fine, I'm taking the taxi. Taxi cost me $40. Nuts, right? Usually it's like $15 to get to the airport, $20. But anyways, so I take a taxi. It's the second time I've taken a taxi in like 5 years. Last time I took a taxi was after I did my extra work. And I took a taxi from Old Town to here, which is about the same as the airport.
Yeah.
And I remember that was a horrible experience. And this again was a horrible experience. This is why the taxi industry is dying.
Yeah.
They're doing something terribly wrong.
There's only really one state where I can never think that they won't need taxis, and that's New York City.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't think there's ever gonna be a time where taxis aren't needed out there. But like out here, Uber and stuff should easily be priority over those things.
I don't understand how your profession is driving. How are you a horrible driver? The worst. Yeah. The absolute worst driver ever. And then there was like construction going on down by the airport, so we had to like sit and wait for them to because they had the flipping stop sign, like go slow, whatever, all that stuff. So that sucked. And then the guy is driving so slow, and he's not getting paid by the hour. He's getting paid by the mile. And so it's like go slow, go fast, that you're getting the same amount of money.
Yeah.
But dude, this guy was driving so slow, and it's like all you want to do is just get home. And it's like, bro, hit the fucking gas. The goddamn street is clear. There's nobody out. This is like, around like midnight now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was so annoying. So fucking annoying. And then the guy started driving off with my stuff as I got a taxi because I was like, hey man, I can just throw this in the back seat with me. And he's like, no, put it in the back. And then as soon as I get out of the passenger side and I shut the door, he starts driving off, and I had to like hit the door, like hit the car, being like, no, you have my stuff. I need my stuff, bro. Fucking, I'm telling you, it's crazy. You think like these people would be like, hey, what are the ride sharing app people doing that's making them more appealing to use than us?
Yeah.
Okay, let's mimic that. Let's copy it, and they can't figure it out. They can't figure it out. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think I've only in my life done taking an Uber once, and that was when I was in Vegas 2 years ago today.
Oh, really?
For the AEW show.
All right.
It's 2 years ago.
But anyways, yeah, so didn't get home till well after 12 o'clock, and Monday I was wiped out. I was wiped out yesterday. Tired, man.
You're out of practice.
I'm out of practice.
You haven't done this for a while.
I haven't done it. But I mean, even if I was practicing, I'm old and I can't do that anymore. But anyways, so that was my weekend. Wrestling weekend.
That's awesome.
It was fun, man. I enjoyed it. It was fun wrestling Calder and Remy and just seeing everybody and having a good time. It was really fun. It was really fun. How about you, my friend? How was your weekend?
It was okay. The Knicks are back in the playoffs.
I saw NBA. That. So is this a guy named Trae Young?
Trae Young.
And he
plays for Atlanta.
He likes to sell.
Oh yeah, he's just taking foul after foul, but they're not actually fouls. He's just flopping.
Yeah.
And the game was close all throughout. I haven't seen them in the playoffs in like 8 years, so like it's very exciting. I'm like legitimately jumping out of my seat after every big shot, like because basketball is my favorite sport out of all of them. But my team has just sucked for so long that
the Knicks have been bad for a while. Yeah, now, right. It's all been. Have the Nets been good?
The Nets just started to get good, but the Nets have like a super team now. So it's like not even fair. It's like, hey, you want all the best players in the NBA? They're all on one team.
And they have that Barclays Center, which is fairly new, right?
Barclays Center is fairly new. Terrible arena.
Oh, really?
Awful. So the high up seats, for any people who have anxiety, they would hate this building. So the seats that are high up, if you even look at them, they look like they're literally like you're on a roller coaster going down.
Fun.
So that's how you feel as you're walking down the steps to get out. You feel like if I fell, I'd fall to the very bottom of the arena because it's the way it's slanted at the top.
That's kind of how I feel at the United Center in Chicago, right? That's where the Bulls play.
Yeah.
So the Blackhawks play there too. and I've been to 2 Blackhawks game, and yeah, like it's very vertical, the seating.
It's very nerve-wracking when you're in there. Yeah,
it's interesting. It's very interesting. I would not want to be, like you see like those videos of like fans fighting.
Yeah.
In the stands, that arena. If I was up high, I would not want to be fighting because if you fell, I feel like you would keep going.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so I mean, it was good. I watched that, and Saturday I went to a friend of mine's kids' t-ball game, which was weird because
it's always fun. I think it's fun watching kids play, like especially that age, play baseball because they'll run out, like they'll hit the ball and run out to right field.
It's just like the weird competitiveness in me where I'm like, what's the score? And like, we don't keep score. They just hit the ball and run to a base.
I don't agree with that.
And they do that, and I'm just like, wait, they don't keep score? Like you don't even like, because like when they field the ball, they throw the ball in the outfield, and there's nobody in the outfield because they're all little kids. But yeah, I'm like, well, when do they start playing competitively? Because that's like like my friend's kid he's very into baseball, so he's like he wants to play catch. He actually wants to learn how to play.
Yeah.
So you watch him play. He's diving for every ball, trying to make throws, and all the other kids are like hitting home plate and spinning around, doing dances and bat flips and stuff. I'm like, it's funny, but at the same time, you're like, man, this could get really exhausting and boring if this were the thing they had to do for like 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. I can understand T-ball not keeping score because it's kind of just like a clusterfuck out there. You got kids like chasing after butterflies. If they actually do, field a grounder, they throw it to the outfield. Yeah. Or they'll actually try and chase the runner around, and the runner is running around in center field. Yeah, so I can understand that. Yeah. I don't understand it when they get a little bit older and they do start to, play a little bit more competitively. I hate that when they're like, oh yeah, there's no score kept. And it's like, do you think you're helping these kids out? Do you really think you're helping these kids out in the long run?
No, you're not.
Because kids need to learn what it takes to win.
Yeah.
And you also need to learn how to lose. Yeah. Right? And understand, like, listen, this is just today. Tomorrow's a new day. You go out there and you fucking play harder. Right? Like, that's kind of like how the world is, or at least our country, our whole system, capitalism, is built on, right? Like, hey, the best gets the reward. Yep. I guess you can say it, right? That's it. So, yeah, it's real weird. Like, when you have those people that are like, no, everybody's a winner. No, I'm sorry. That's not how the world works. Yeah. As much as you want to fucking pad this world and make it child safe and all that, no.
If everyone was a winner, you and me, we'd both be living in houses by the beach right now.
Yep.
If everyone was winning.
Yep.
But that's not the case.
It's not the case. Yeah, that always bothers me when I see that.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, if I ever have kids, I'm just going to be like, from the beginning, like, I know this is fun, but like, you have to think about being the best at something or winning,
I remember tears pouring out of my eyes as my coaches were yelling at me because I blew a play. And by the way, my dad was my coach a lot of the time, so I'd be getting yelled at by my father for blowing a play. And I want that same feeling, that emptiness, that total feeling of worthlessness. I want kids to feel that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, because I had to feel it.
Because you go into that next game
petty. And I want kids to understand, what I had to go through.
But you go to that next game more determined. That's the shit that fueled Michael Jordan.
And also not wanting to get yelled at.
Not wanting to get yelled at, exactly.
And cry my eyes out in front of my friends and be scarred for the rest of my life. I was just talking about that with somebody, how those, like literally at like 10 years old, you're getting yelled at by grown men.
Yeah.
Because you didn't, turn two properly, or you didn't make a tackle. Like something, and they're sitting there just yelling at you, and you're crying your eyes out, and they're like, get back in the game. And you're out there, playing with tears in your eyes. And, man, a lot of these things, they scarred me, man. To this day, I still have a lot of like issues.
Yeah.
From kids sports that have like still kept with me today. I remember I was a tight end. I think this was like so I played Pop Warner football. I think this might have been like did you ever play Pop Warner football? So you have all these like divisions. And I think one was like junior peewee and peewee. I can't remember which one it was, but I was the tight end. And I was like, oh, sick. I actually get to like catch the ball. You know, I could possibly score a touchdown. Like, because prior to that, I was center. I played O-line. I hated O-line.
Yeah.
Because O-line, you block. Like, how much fucking fun
There's no
is that?
fun. No fun.
If somebody says they love playing O-line, I'll show you a psychopath. Like, man, I hated that position.
Yeah,
like,
these are crazy.
but I was also a defensive end. I went both ways, which is exhausting. And defensive end is fun.
Yeah.
Playing defense is fun because, you know, if you're like on the D line, you're like, whatever, tackle a motherfucker. That's what you're there to do, right? But O-line, you're just kind of blocking. And I thought it was so boring. And then finally got the opportunity to they put me at tight end. And I was like, sweet, man. So a few games I got to catch passes and make runs. I was never the fastest kid in the world, but it was fun just being the tight end. And then I remember I think I got sick and I missed 2 practices, lost my position. And I was like, Coach, what happened? And they're like, well, you haven't been showing up to practice. And it's like, I was sick. I'm 10 years old. Like, what the fuck do you mean? And I lost that position straight up. And it's like, that still sticks with me today. If I don't show up, I lose my spot. Fucking nuts, right?
That's a wrestler mentality too.
I know. I hate it too because it is like still in my head. Like I have to show up even when I don't want to go. I'm like I gotta go. But yeah, it's so funny when you think about like all the problems that they've discovered with youth sports. Especially the contact sports.
Yeah.
The head trauma, all this stuff. It's very safe now. At least they've tried making it safer.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you just had like these dumb parents that have no idea about like first aid or any kind of like medical experience. They're just like, oh, rub some dirt in it. They're slapping you upside the fucking helmet. Like if you fuck up, they slap you across the helmet. They grab you by the face mask and shake you fucking around. All this kind of stuff. I straight up got smoked twice, 2 plays in a row, in one game. I must have been concussed. I must have been like, get back in there. Get back in there. Shake it off, kid. Get back in there. I remember like getting like the wind knocked out of me, like a few games, and remember getting the wind knocked out of you when you were younger?
Yes.
And it just feels like you're dying.
Yeah, you're like you can't breathe.
And they're like, like the parents are just like, get up and get back in there. They have no idea.
The last thing you want is someone yelling at you when you're in that much pain. You're just like,
yeah.
I can't breathe, and you're yelling at me just to get back out there. I'm like, oh, fuck you,
dude. I'm telling you, all the I love. They're fun memories, but they're also like traumatic memories. Like at the same time, it's nuts, man.
No, it's true. Even when I played basketball, the coaches were always I could just hear them yelling. But in basketball, it's easier to tune them out.
Yeah,
because you're just trying to focus on the play and making your shots. Like, but you always hear them like, you gotta play better fucking defense, dumbass.
Yep.
Stupid motherfucker, get on him.
You fucking pussy.
You fucking pussy, play some defense. I'll pull you.
Yeah, can't talk like that anymore now with kids.
And, there is to an extent, like, that's a lot. But I don't think yelling at kids and, like, telling them, like, what they're doing wrong is bad. I think calling them names and calling them asshole, like, I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
But I think, like, the only real way to coach is to kind of get upset sometimes to fire people up. Because, if you're lazy and lethargic and then the coach is all amped up, maybe that gets you amped up. But he was like, okay, guys, let's play better out there. Come on. All right, let's shoot some better shots. Like, no one's going to play better after that.
Yeah,
just
maybe.
Like, I don't know.
Maybe. But anyways, I'll tell you this. None of my childhood coaches went on to have a career in coaching.
No?
At any level.
They
at any level. Yep. Anyways, what else is going on, man? How's wrestling? What's going on? Is there anything Velveteen Dream got cut.
Yeah, another one of those ones that everyone kind of expect to come in soon.
Now, this is interesting to me. This is what is their reasoning? Have they put out a reason?
What they use is budgetary stuff.
Okay, excellent. Now, this is funny because everybody's been calling for him to be released for a while now, right? Because there's allegations that came out.
I mean, there were allegations. There was also some proof that he was DMing minors.
Yeah, and then but that. WWE cannot come out and say, listen, there was a lot of allegations against him. That's why we cut him.
Because they think it's sued.
No, because think about it. They already said, oh, yeah, we investigated it, and there's nothing there. Right? Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure the WWE is not fucking Scotland Yard when it comes to investigating potential criminal incidences. Am I correct on that?
I'm just trying to think of like Johnny Ace like combing through the information to try. I can't figure this out, kid.
But no, I mean, I'm just thinking like, so that's the thing. When they cut Velveteen Dream, I was like, well, people think it's probably for those allegations that he had against him. But WWE already came out and said, oh, we looked into it. There's nothing there. And then they kept him around. And then all of a sudden he's gone.
It also seemed like he was highly disliked by most of his colleagues.
Well, I'm sure after those allegations came
even
out,
so, like for the longest time, there was this thing out there that he was dating Kathy Kelly. And then immediately after he was fired, she tweeted something, stop tagging me about someone that I didn't ever talk to outside of work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So like that was like a long-term rumor that they were dating, and she was like quick to like, no, it's not true. And
kind of interesting, right? Like before those allegations came out, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I thought that Velveteen Dream character was like pretty cool, and it looked like they had a lot. They were pushing him to the moon as far as he had like a lot of good storylines.
He was very popular. He was very close. He was very young too, so he was really close to being kind of like the next big
call up.
Yeah,
and even Cena made like a comment saying like, "Yeah, man, he's probably gonna be the next big breakout star." I guess not.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate because you don't know people's personal lives when you say stuff like that. So obviously nobody could have seen this coming.
Yeah,
but
and like I'll obviously the incident with the minors, it's an allegation. It's just an allegation.
Yeah.
There was no. I don't believe it ever went to like a police investigation or any kind of criminal investigation.
No, I don't ever think it went that far.
Authorities. So it was just an allegation. But yeah, man, I feel like he's probably done, right? I feel like he might be done with her.
Yeah.
Who knows, though?
I mean, I don't think AEW is going to give him a shot because they're going to be bringing in a shit ton of people when these non-competes end in July. So I doubt he's going to be one of them.
Plus, you probably just don't want to take on that.
Yeah, you're going to get bad karma or bad like press from that. Like Impact's probably not going to bring him in either.
Yeah.
Like maybe ROH. I don't know.
Yeah, and I read that he released a statement and he kind of told the whole story about like and who knows, right? Who knows? There's whenever there's two parties, they're both going to have their stories, and somewhere in the middle lies the truth.
Yep.
Right. So, I just thought that was pretty interesting that, they had a bunch of cuts. Then there was like, oh yeah. And don't forget this guy.
Yeah. And it was weird that it happened so far after all the cuts, and they fired a bunch of people today too, not wrestlers, but like production people.
Oh, really?
People that like worked on the network, which doesn't exist anymore. People that worked in the social media department, the digital part. Apparently there was 2 sets of like a social media department. And I was just like, that's weird. Like if I was one of those, I would expect at some point I'm probably getting laid off.
Yeah.
But you always hate when people like that get laid off because those, they don't have the name value of like, oh, I'm a wrestler. I can just go to another company. Like they're,
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, man. So I saw he got cut and I was like, oh, all right.
Drake Younger's making a wrestling return apparently.
I saw that. Do you know what the promotion is?
I don't. It's a promotion that has like him and Matt Morgan, who's also kind of been on that QAnon thing recently. So it seems like it's that kind of show.
I thought this is pretty. I saw this on the Twitter yesterday. Bar Wrestling made a tweet.
Yeah,
a tweet, and I saw it was getting a lot of reactions. Actually, I have it right here. This was released one day ago yesterday. Sorry, I couldn't get that out. There's false narratives going around that we've closed up shop. We've never declared that and are strongly considering a return as pandemic restrictions are lifted. Obviously, that caused a lot of problems because the owner is Joey Ryan, who has had allegations against him. And so, yeah, that seems kind of interesting. Do you think Bar Wrestling thinks it's going to make a return, I guess?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I saw a couple of people like, Yuma, who are very like strongly like, we'll see who the good and the bad people are by who works for them if they come back and who doesn't, like that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, this is going to cause much more of an issue than it needs to be.
That is one of those things too, where let's say they do try to run, they will find wrestlers.
Oh, they absolutely
They will find wrestlers that will jump on there and go, hey, man, it's a gig. But I don't know if
it's a show that's going to get views, whether it's good or bad. People are going to pay attention to what the cards are. People are going to pay attention to what who's on the show. Like, so if you're one of those wrestlers that only cares about getting the publicity, maybe you'll do it for that reason.
Yeah, maybe. Interesting though. I feel like that's not the publicity you want.
No,
not the publicity you want. How about we? You want to go to questions?
Yeah, we only had one this week,
but it was a double question because Adam gets a question.
Yes. So this first part is for Mike. If you had to do a hardcore match, who would you want to face?
It had to be somebody I trust. I have to trust them. Well, Hunter's a hardcore guy now.
I was going to say the hardcore redneck.
Yep, Hunter's a hardcore guy now. So maybe Hunter. Even though I know this guy would be like, fuck you, I'm not doing that. Maybe Ricky Mandel. Ricky Mandel, I might want to wrestle him because I know he'd be safe. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I have like no real desire to do a hardcore match, a death match, or anything like that.
I think they're different though, right? I think death match is like you're actually going to be taking bleeding. You're actually going to be taking those glass tubes to the head. Like a hardcore match is like, yeah, you might take a bump on a stop sign or a table or something.
Not the stop sign, bro.
Not the stop sign.
No, I've done ladder matches. I've taken bumps on ladders.
Yeah.
If it's done correctly and you land correctly, it doesn't hurt very much. But obviously there's things that can go wrong. I've almost been in the so next month will be 8 years training, and then October will be 8 years doing shows for me. And in those 8 years, I've only taken one chair shot to the back, so I'm kind of proud of that. It hurt like a motherfucker. It hurt, dude. It fucking hurt a lot.
The chair shot?
Yeah, it was on my back.
Oh, yeah.
It was like taking 1,000 chops to the back all at once.
People seem to prefer the chair shots to the back, though. I guess to the head and back are two different things. I'd rather take it one to the back.
Well, also, there's people that will like work the chair shot, and then there's guys that will just fucking swing it like a goddamn baseball bat. And the goddamn guy that I wrestled, who I'm not going to say his fucking name because he ended up being a fucking pedophile, brought the fucking noise, dude. Like,
yeah.
He told me afterwards, like, hey, I swing this really hard, and I'm like, all right, man.
He told you after he hit you?
No, I'm sorry, before.
He told you after.
Before.
By the way, I swing it really hard. Thank you, motherfucker, for telling me after.
But yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's probably Hunter. I would guess it'd be Hunter.
Yeah,
I think that's one person I think you'd probably feel safest doing that kind of match with.
It would just have to be somebody I trust. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if it's okay, if it's just a hardcore match, then yeah, I've had like, I had like a match, a cage match with SoCal Crazy.
Okay.
Where like I guess we're throwing each other in the fucking cages, and I put him through a chair or I put him through a table and all that kind of stuff. And then I've done like the War Games match where I got busted open.
Those are hardcore matches, so yeah, you've been in hardcore matches.
Kinda. And then I've had like the ladder matches and fucking all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just had to be somebody I trust that I know like wasn't gonna be doing anything stupid, because we all know there's fucking dumb shits in the fucking wrestling industry that don't know how to fucking. They think they know how to do something and they don't. And I will say that I put out an example of that today on my Twitter with our friend Rick Ellis. So if you guys go to my Twitter, you're going to see a clip from the show Ridiculousness, right? Ridiculousness with Rob Dyrdek. And they're watching wrestling matches, like obviously bad falls, botches.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, the third clip, there I see Rick Ellis hanging onto a goddamn the pole, the turnbuckle pole, and some dumb kid is at the very top of it. And this is a story that Devin has told on the show before. This kid thought he could do a goddamn moonsault to like a double stomp onto Rick Ellis. And the story is Rick Ellis was like, "You're not going to pull that off. There's no way." And the kid was like, "No, I can do it." And Rick's like, "No, you can't." And then the kid was like insisting that he could do it. And then the kid proceeds to break his fucking face.
Fracture his hip.
He fractured his hip.
Yep.
Because it looked like it was in a gymnasium.
Yeah.
So it was like a basketball court that they were probably wrestling on. But you look at it and you just go, what the fuck were you thinking? What were you thinking? And this happens a lot in wrestling. Like, kids will be like, oh, I can do this. And it's like, not only are you not athletically gifted enough, are you not strong enough, are you not whatever enough.
Yeah.
Physics says this will not work. But they think they can pull it off.
It's okay if you have limitations.
It's fine.
That's fine.
I live in limitations. Okay? I live in limitations. And it's a nice place to be. It's a very nice place to be. But yeah, man. Anyways, that's my, there are like people that have delusional thoughts about what they can do in the wrestling ring.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to put me in a hardcore match, you better put me against somebody that understands limitations. I'm down. Hey man, you want to hit me with a chair? Cool. Just do it safely. You want to put me through a table? Cool. Let's just do it safely. I don't know. What else can you do in a hardcore match? You want to fall on top of a ladder? Cool. I just want to
choke someone through the ring.
I just want to make sure it's done safely. And if I see somebody that's not safe, I don't want to work with them. Even just in a regular match, right? Even just like a normal singles, one pinfall, time limit of 20 minutes match. Yeah. That's that. But let's get back to Adam. Adam, answer your question.
Mixed Mutt. I don't know if I said that, by the way. He said, also question for Adam. Do you ever want to make a ring return? If so, what gimmick would you want to do? Well, so I did recently start doing some stuff up at the West Coast Wrestling Company with Rick Ellis and other people that could eventually lead to an in-ring return, or not even an in-ring return. So I never wrestled a match. I trained from 2007 to 2014. I never had a match for whatever different reasons. It was one point there was a promotional war where we had to choose sides, and that was a whole drama thing. And then shit just kept happening every time I was supposed to wrestle a match. So I never actually wrestled a match, but I would train like 5 days a week. Like we'd go to New Wave training 2 days a week, and then the other 3 days, Ellis and I and another friend bought a ring off High Spots and put it in his backyard, an actual ring. So we would go to that ring and we would train on the days we weren't going to New Wave. So I was training 5 days a week in the ring. So I wasn't great, but I was okay. I'm 35 years old. I don't know if me taking my first bump after 7 years is going to feel all that great. And I don't know if what would I be coming back to do? Like, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not going to be getting to go into any big promotions. I don't even know if I could get booked out here if I wrestled again like that. I just don't know. So it's not something that I've ever really thought about. If it happens, it happens, and it is. What gimmick would I want? Again, I'm like Mike. I don't fucking care about gimmicks. Like
Mormon gimmick.
I had a Mormon gimmick at one point. Trevor and Andy wanted me and my now roommate too, wanted us to do a kind of Mean Street Posse gimmick, but we would because we wear the shirts around our waist, but we'd talk like really snobbish. Like I forget it now, but they really pushed this really hard, and we almost fucking did it. But otherwise, no, there was never I don't really care about gimmicks, because I can't think of a good gimmick. What a good gimmick for me would be. So I'm just I like to cut promos. That's what I like to do. That's what I'm going to be doing. What I'm doing now, cutting a lot of promos and stuff like that. That's the part of stuff I enjoy. I enjoy the character managing part, but gimmicks, I can't think of any. My gimmick now is that I'm a fucking agent, like a sports agent. That's kind of what my gimmick is now.
That's fine.
It is what it is. And it'll allow me to have more people with me at this place. But would I ever want to make an in-ring return? I assume I do at one point in my life want to have at least one match, but I want to be comfortable that I wouldn't look like complete dog shit in that match. But anyway, yeah, I get that. Guess that's my answer. I don't know if that's the answer you wanted, but
I'll get a match out of you. I'd love it. Match. We can have a match.
We just turned this podcast into a match.
I'll get you. I can get you in the ring. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think you could. You're 35. I think you could have at least one match.
Yeah, that's what I kind of want to do. I was never, and the good thing about me is my style was never, I never really left my feet. I wasn't doing moonsault. Like everybody I was training with, like Ellis, and they have a totally different style than what I have. Like Ellis is doing fucking flying out of the ring and all this other shit. I never wanted to do any of that shit.
Ellis was amazing. Man, I've watched old footage of Ellis in the ring, and man, he was amazing. No joke. Like,
yeah,
fucking amazing.
And he's going to be wrestling again very soon. He's the most determined I've seen him in a long time.
That's good.
To have a match get done. I think at some point he's going to get in a ring and train sometime soon. That's only been the only issue with the COVID restrictions and whatnot. It's been hard to get in the ring and train because that kind of stuff. But hopefully it's going to happen soon. And he's going to get in the ring with Brandon Gatson. It's going to be fun.
Brandon Gatson is obviously, I've put him over all the time on this podcast. He's one of the best. And man, yeah, I'll tell you, the footage I've seen of Rick when he was younger, man, what an awesome wrestler. The intensity. Think of like he very Benoit-ish.
Yeah,
his style is very much like Chris Benoit in ring. And that old footage of it, I was a fan, man. I was like, God damn, like he was on point. But that hardcore style, or not the hardcore style, but that intense style that Rick wrestles, obviously I think it caught up to him a little bit. Like, I think he's had like some knee problems and stuff like that.
He had a knee injury right before he wrestled Davey Richards, and like he didn't realize it until months later, but he actually dislocated his kneecap.
Jesus. He
thought he just kind of messed up his knee, but no, it caused like really serious damage to his knee that like lingered. And then he's made a couple of comebacks over the last couple of years, but again, COVID got in the way of it. He had a couple of matches in Zealot. But yeah, it's just so much bad luck over the last couple of years. Like, shit, he got to go to Japan, for a while with Devin, and that was probably one of the best experiences of his life. So I'm hoping he can get back and, make something of it, because like you said, he was awesome, and he was at a point 10, 12 years ago where he was on the cusp of like being like one of the next big guys in SoCal. Guys that are like in AEW now that he wrestled, like Brian Cage and Davey Richards, who's just came back to wrestling now, and just all these different guys that he's been in the ring with and been around. Gatson, been in the ring, Devin, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Gatson just kind of made a return to in ring.
Yeah.
And he's right back at it, man.
Yeah, he was great. His match he had the show I was at a couple weeks ago was awesome.
The Gatson is he's one of the most amazing wrestlers. Like he took a couple, I think maybe like a year or two off lately.
Yeah.
And then, I saw him start posting that he was getting bookings and posting match footage. The guy, he's one of the smoothest guys I've ever seen in the ring. It's nuts. And like the creativity that comes out of his like brain or his mind or whatever is insane. And we're not talking like very complicated stuff. We're talking very simple, but very flashy. I mean, the guy can do flash.
Yeah.
Like he's a gymnastics guy. He has the ability to do a lot of flippy stuff. But the great thing about Gatson is he doesn't always use it.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll just use like a more finesse.
Yeah.
I guess you could say, than like, oh, I gotta get this flip in here. I gotta get this flip in here. He's like, no, I feel like he has his style is more finesse.
It all comes very naturally to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can see him kind of talk about the match beforehand, and then you see it, and you're like, man, they talked about all that, and in like 2 minutes, like he came up with all that in like such a short amount of time. Where sometimes you'll see guys talk for like 30 minutes about something simple.
Yep.
But, some people just naturally have the gift.
He's the man, dude. He's the man. I would love to get back in the ring with Gatson. That's one guy I would love to wrestle again.
He said, name the time and the place.
That is, name the time and place.
So.
Well, Brandon, I can name the time and place. Can't guarantee there'll be a ring there. Can't guarantee there'll be a payout. But I'm sure maybe one day I'll get booked to get against him again. Because it'd be nice, man. Like I said, when I first wrestled him, I was still very green.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, that was probably 4 or 5 years ago that I wrestled him. So it'd be cool to like see like, okay, how much better can I make this match now? Because back in the day, it was all him. His knees, his lower back, and his shoulders must have been like tired after the match from carrying me. Where now I think I'd be able to do my own thing, hold my own against him. So, yeah, man, that'd be a lot of fun. A lot of fun to do.
It's crazy when you think back to when older people were telling you, oh, you're going to learn, and you're just like, no, I'm not. And then as you get older, you're like, oh, I would definitely do a lot of things differently than what I did back then.
Big time, dude. Big time. Not much else really going on that I've seen. Right now, no new controversies really.
There was the quarterly argument about is Kenny Omega the best wrestler in the world that I saw, where everyone starts to argue between Kenny Omega and a litany of other wrestlers, which happens every couple of months. But
I don't feel like discussing.
No,
that.
It's fine. The best wrestler in the world is so subjective. It could be different for Mike. It could be different for me. It could be different for anyone listening. You might have a different answer.
One thing I'll say about Kenny Omega, I think he's very versatile. He's very versatile. You want a comedy match, he'll give you a comedy match. You want a hardcore match, he'll give you a hardcore match. He's very versatile.
And he's also a very nice guy. I forgot, I think it was Ellis. He sent him a match of his, in an email, because he got this email. And he asked if he could take a look at it and send him back to him. He literally went almost move for move, giving him advice on that, how to get to Japan, all this kinds of other stuff. So, people like that, man, I don't care what the internet thinks about them. I don't get, they're good people to me.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about the Bucks. The Bucks have always been cool. TJ, I know people have their problem with TJ Perkins, but he's always been cool to me. Yeah. So even to this day.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, I'm back in the ring this Sunday against Judiz. Judiz is making his return.
Are we going to get him on the pod?
I hope so. I'll talk to him this week. Hopefully we can get him on there. And maybe after the show we can chat for a little while. Yeah. Let's go over the card, though, for this show. It's going to be for Level Up Pro Wrestling. This is Ready or Not. It's going to be it's going to be behind the school in La Mesa. So head over to Facebook and just type in Level Up Showcase, and it's the Ready or Not show. So let's see. Yeah. It's going to be first match, Reptilio versus Remy Morgan. Second match is going to be the very secretive Shinobi. Very secretive. Against Jackson Calhoun. And then you're going to have the Darren Troy Fable, that's DTF, open challenge. See how that goes. And then you got a big man match here. You got Sweet Robin Shaw versus Jesse James. Two big guys going at it. And then you're going to have battle of the pro wrestling schools. You're going to have MPW versus Level Up. So representing MPW is going to be Brandon and Danny Devine, along with Diego Valens, versus the Level Up team of Leo Caneto, Sexy Fab, and Jordan Cruz. Then you're going to have a singles match. This is going to be the battle of the older men. It's going to be myself versus Judiz. Yeah, just the old vets.
The vet battle.
The old vets on the card. And then you're going to have a intergender tag team match. You're going to have Savannah Stone and James Brady versus Hunter Freeman and Ruby Reyes. I guarantee that's going to be a slobber knocker. I know Savannah is just as intense as Ruby in the ring, so that's going to be very interesting to watch.
Have Hunter and Reyes come up with a tag team name for themselves yet?
No. Why? Do you have a suggestion?
I do not. I was just wondering if they did, because they seem to be tagging a lot, and they seem to be a good fit as a team.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens. And then you're going to have a main event triple threat. Everybody loves triple threat, especially the boys in the back. Yep. Casey Douglas versus Juan Matatoli and Michael Hopkins. That's going to be the main event. So show is going to start at 5 o'clock, and it looks like it's going to cost you about $10. $10 to go check out that show.
And that's going to be, you said, at the school or someplace else?
Yes. So it's going to be at the school, but it's going to be in the parking lot behind the school. Yes.
So where the last couple of shows have been, if people have been to those shows.
Yes. And then, yeah, man, that's all I got for this weekend. And then I think in June we got that 619 show. And then I was talking to Wes Logan out in Vegas. He was working out there with us. So shout out to Versus Pro Wrestling out in Vegas, helping out with the show this past weekend, they like supplied the ring.
Oh, that's cool.
And they had, we had a few of the Vegas guys on there wrestling and all that kind of stuff. So talked to Wes, and maybe I'll be heading back out to Vegas to go wrestle for him and, see what happens. I don't want to be driving back and forth between Vegas and San Diego very much. But, hey, every once in a while it'll be kind of fun to do. Go have a good match and see what happens.
Maybe one day they'll come up with actual teleportation, and you could just get to the shows that way.
Star Trek style.
Yep,
I'm hoping. Crossing my fingers.
You could wrestle anywhere on any day. You could go right now.
That you could. I think that's about it, though, man. Do we really have anything else to talk about?
No, I think that's it. We talked about a good amount of stuff.
Yeah,
I figured you'd have a lot of good stories from the Vegas thing, and we talked for 30 minutes about it.
Well,
so
you see, I don't want to stooge anybody out. So that's why you say, "Hey, man, we had a good time." You don't want to spill the beans.
No, you don't. I mean, yeah, if you don't want to get anybody in trouble.
No, I'll tell you the truth. It was pretty. There was nothing crazy. At least what I saw. Like I said, man, I'm not playing no reindeer games. I've said that before. So I hang out for a little bit, say hi to everybody. Oh, then yes. You mentioned this earlier. So Dom and Ray showed up to the convention on Sunday, and they were just hanging out watching the show. And then bailed out.
There was a picture I saw with them and Bestia and all of them together. So
yeah, they were just hanging out, just watching. They showed up. Of course, they showed up after my match. So once again, I can't wrestle in front of Rey Mysterio to get some eyes on me.
Work. You took that moonsault.
I took him.
You did the moonsault spot with him or whatever.
Oh
we
yeah,
talked about last week. He's like, that's Mike Camden. I know him.
No, I know. I don't know about that.
That is El Numero Uno.
El Numero Uno.
You know the middle number in 619.
Uno. There you go. Boom. The fucking promo guy right here.
Yep.
Promo guy. All right, but come check us out on Sunday at the Level Up Pro Wrestling show, Ready or Not. Come check it out. And that's about it, right, Adam? I think that's about it.
Yeah, I can't think of much else, Padres are kicking ass.
Padres are kicking ass.
One of the best teams in baseball right now.
Are they still tied for the division?
They were in sole possession unless something changed it because they won yesterday. Or did they play yesterday? No, they lost yesterday, right? So I don't know.
Yes,
sure.
They lost it. Their streak got broken.
Yeah. So I don't know, but they have the face of baseball right now. Tatis is the face of baseball.
Yeah, and they have an incredible team. This is I was talking to somebody I grew up playing baseball. I love baseball. It's a great sport, but it's very slow. It's very boring. But this team is exciting.
Yeah,
there's an exciting team, man. So they're putting up runs. They're hitting dingers, hitting grand slams. They're having fun.
They put that chain necklace on Tatis on Sunday after he hit the home run. The gold Flavor Flav Padre clock thing they put around his neck after he hit the home run. That was kind of cool. That's the stuff about baseball I think they need more of, because that's why baseball's so boring. It's you hit the home run, you're around the base, yay. But if you're excited about it, like the pitcher on the Dodgers said a couple weeks ago, these guys should be excited if they hit that small of a ball 400 feet. That's a fucking accomplishment.
It's the hardest thing to do.
And none of it, there are so many people who can't do that.
No.
You could step into a batting cage right now and someone would throw 100 and you'd be like, I didn't even see the ball coming.
It's basically the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
In sports.
Yeah.
All right, let's say Tom Brady fires a football at you. You got a pretty good chance of catching it, right?
It might hurt, but
you step up to the tee box and there's a ball in front of you. You got a pretty good chance of hitting that ball. You're hitting shooting hoops, right?
Yeah.
Shooting hoops. You got a pretty good chance of making it, right? Somebody firing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball at you, you ain't hitting that motherfucker.
If you give me 20 shots at hitting a 100-mile-an-hour fastball or taking an actual NBA three-pointer, I'm most likely going to hit the NBA three-pointer before I hit the fastball.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you want the pitch a little bit slower? Okay, well, here's an 85-mile-an-hour fucking changeup. Still, you ain't hitting that.
Guys are throwing 69 miles per hour, and it throws them off because they're used to 100, so they don't even know. They can't time it. They're like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
So, yeah. But, luckily, June 15th, the stadiums are going to be open full again. Everyone can go.
Looking forward to it.
So that'll be cool, getting a full crowd at Petco. I'm sure the crowds have been loud already.
Looking forward to it.
But it'll be very loud.
Looking forward to it, man, because this is that team. This is the team.
It should be. And they might still have some moves left in them, too, to make. So
I hope so. All right, man. Let's wrap this up. Everybody, if you want the tip, you got to take the whole hog. Adios.
Ragdoll.